She's got. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ha. Okay, everyone, sorry for the interruption. We'll keep going.
I knew I was underwater. I just didn't realize I was this underwater.
Say, listen, don't worry about the grammar. The important...
All right, actually, I will start again at the beginning, everyone.
You've probably studied English grammar. Hooray! But you might still make these...
Not that close to the beginning. That was right at the beginning.
You can use control and the arrows keyboard.
Okay. I can too. All right. Thank you, Huang Ang.
Dates and places, and it's about me. Can you see the mistake?
I was born on 1967 at Manchester. To be more precise, I was born on August in the 12th.
It's all true, but there are some mistakes here. Did you spot them? This is what they said. Right, what's the mistake? Well, several mistakes, so it should be. I was born in 1967 in Manchester. To be more precise, I was born in August on the 12th. Okay. These are common preposition mistakes that people make. We use in for years, months, and cities. We use on for a specific date. Imagine you're standing on the calendar on the 6th, on the 9th. You're standing on the date.
Teacher.
Yeah.
The screen was disconnected.
Okay, I'll just reconnect it. Sorry, everyone. Okay, can you see it again now, Huang Ang?
Yeah, it's back.
Okay, great.
In for years, months, and cities. We use on for a specific date.
Okay, I'll just stop in there. So what this is about is the correct use of prepositions, everyone. I'm playing this to you because some of you still make some mistakes with in and on. So as you can see on the screen, you use in for years, months, and cities. I was born in Hanoi. Okay, in. I was born in February. I was born in 1999. Okay, but you use on for specific dates. Ming Nok.
Yes.
What date is your birthday?
It's November 19th.
November 19th. So Ming Nok was born on December 19th. What year, Ming Nok?
It's 2008.
2008. So she was born on the 19th in 2008. So you use on for specific dates. Specific just means exact dates. Okay, but in for years. Okay, so she was born on the 19th in 2008.
Imagine you're standing on the calendar on the 6th, on the 9th. You're standing on the date. At, we don't use for a city, right? At is used for a specific point or location. At the crossroads, at the hospital, at the bank, at school. Specific locations. Okay, how do you fix this? Well, it is really just practice. A very simple thing you can do, right, is go into a AI search like Gemini, ChatGPT, ask it to make a story with a gap fill using these rules, using in for years, months, and cities, on for dates, at for locations, and ask it to make a story with gap fills. It'll print out a story and it'll give you the answers. It doesn't print it out. It gives you the story, but with the gaps. So you say it out loud, filling in the gaps, and then check your answers. It's easy to do. It's fun. And you creating it actually puts you in control of your learning. It's much more interesting than looking for one already made or one that I've made for you. Make your own. DIY. Do it yourself. Let's go.
Okay, everyone. So what he was talking about there was those of you who can access AI, you can make your own exercises for this if you want. But I'm going to give you one now. Okay, so I'm going to go into chat and I'm going to send you some questions. No, we don't want number 10. That is for next week. Okay, everybody. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you some questions. Practice for prepositions again. The reason I'm doing this, by the way, that we're practicing prepositions quite a bit is that, remember, if you want to get a high score, you need to have, if you want to get a 7 in Ielts, 50% of your sentences must be correct. And even if all the rest of the sentence is correct, but you just make a small mistake with a preposition, then that means that sentence is not correct. So it is important to try and get as many prepositions right as you can. Okay, so I'm just going to send you now in chat. Okay, and what I want you to do, everyone, is these are the missing prepositions. I'll send them to you separately. Okay, so please, everyone, just choose. You don't need to write out the whole story. Just send me which preposition goes in each gap that is marked with a number. Okay, so these are the 5 prepositions. Okay, except 2 of them are articles. So the and are articles, on, at, and in are prepositions. So please send me in chat 1, the, if that is what the answer is, 2, a, 3, on, and so on. Okay, just send me the number and the word, and I will mark them as you send them. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Huang Ang. Huang Ang. Huang Ang.
Yes.
Okay, number 7 is not correct, okay? Number
Yes.
7.
Yes. I was like
That's okay. Don't worry, Huang Ang. But yes, just number 7
yeah.
is correct. Okay,
It,
so Huang Ang, you have got out of 8 so far, you got 1 wrong.
yeah. I have thought of that word too, but I decided to put as.
Okay. What should it be, Huang Ang? Number 7. What should it be?
Yeah. I would have thought that it was the word the too.
It is, number 7 is, but for number 7, you have put at.
Yes, I decided to put the word.
Okay. Okay, Kwang Ming, thank you. I can see yours. Okay, Kwang Ming.
Yes.
Kwang Ming, they are all correct except for number 6. Number 6 is not correct. Okay?
It should be at.
It correct. Should be. Okay, Chung Hu. Okay, Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3, 4, and 6 are not correct for you. Okay, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, Ming Nok, I'm looking at yours now. Ming Nok. Ming Nok. Ming Nok, oi.
Yes.
Okay, 2 and 6 are not correct. Ming Nok, 2 and 6.
Yes.
Okay, tell me if you don't understand why. Nok Ling, I can see yours now.
Yes.
Okay, Nok Ling, for you, 3, 4, and 7 are not correct. Okay, Nok Ling? 3, 4, and 7. Okay, Leduk Ang, I'm looking at yours now. Okay, Leduk Ang.
Yes.
Okay, you have 1, 1, and 6 are not correct. 1 and 6. 1 and 6. I'll go through the answers with everyone. Okay. Actually, Nok Ling. Okay. Can you please read the first 2 lines for me, please?
The first sentence.
Yeah.
It was a quiet evening in November, and Ling had just arrived in Tokyo for her long-awaited trip.
Good. Okay. So everyone, in and in. It was a quiet evening in November. Ling had just arrived in Tokyo. Okay. Next sentence, please. Chung Hu. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Next sentence, please. The one starts with her. Her excitement.
Excitement peaked when she realized that her adventure would officially begin at the 15th.
Okay, so number 4, everyone should be on.
Oh,
On. Remember, if you are talking about a specific date, okay, an exact date, you always use on, not in. All right. Just a couple of words just to check that you know what they mean. Her excitement peaked. Her excitement peaked. Ming nok. Ming nok.
Yes.
Her excitement peaked. What does that mean?
Reach the top of her feelings.
Correct. Okay, reach the highest point of her feeling. Remember, everyone, a peak is the highest point. So her excitement reached, she was the most excited. Her excitement peaked. She was the most excited she had been because her adventure would officially begin. Officially. Okay, if you say something like your adventure officially begins, that is maybe when you start your holiday or you start your trip to somewhere. So remember, you use on with specific dates. Kwangming, Kwangming,
yes.
can you read the last sentence, please? The one that starts with she. She.
The last sentence. Okay. She had booked. She had booked a dinner. At a beautiful restaurant overlooking the city skyline, eager to see the sights.
Is correct. Okay, she had booked a dinner at a beautiful restaurant overlooking the city skyline, eager to see the sights. Eager, Huang Ang, Huang Ang.
Yes.
What does eager mean? Eager, eager.
Wait a bit. Let me look at that. Um, I think it's like suitable or someone.
Not suitable, not suitable. Ledok Ang, Ledok Ang.
Yes,
What does eager mean? Eager, eager.
I forgot about it.
Eager to see the sights. Eager to see the sights.
Yeah.
Okay. Huang Ming. Huang Ming.
Yes.
Eager. Eager to see the sights. Do you know what that means?
I think is interested or excited to see the sights.
Very close. Excited. Eager means you can't wait. If you are eager to do something, E-A-G-E-R. If you wonder what word I'm looking at, it is in the last line of the paragraph that I sent you. Eager just means you can't wait. Okay? I was eager to have something to eat. Means I can't wait to have something to eat. I'm really hungry. All right? I'm eager to see someone. Very eager to see my friend. Haven't seen them for a long time. Okay? I'm eager to start my holiday. Can't wait to start my holiday. So eager just means you can't wait for something. You are very excited. Eager. A new word to add to your vocabularies. Nok Ling, does that make sense to you? Eager. The
Yes.
word eager. Okay. I'm very eager for the end of the lesson. Maybe. Means I can go back to sleep. All right. Just means you can't wait. Eager means can't wait. Okay, so the scores so far: Chung Hu, 5 out of 8, Huang Ang, 7 out of 8, Ming Nok, 5 out of 8, Nok Ling, 5 out of 8, Kwang Ming, 7 out of 8, Leduk Ang, 6 out of 8. Okay, if any of you are not sure about the preposition, please ask me. Okay, I have one more paragraph to finish this story. I will send it to you now. Okay, here is the second paragraph of Ling's story. Okay, you are using the same prepositions and articles, by the way. Okay, the, a, in, on, and at. The, a, in, on, and at. Okay, Huang Ang, you are first again. Okay, Huang Ang.
Yes.
Okay, 12, 13, and 14 are not correct. Okay, 12, 13, and 14. Wang Ming, I'm looking at yours now. Okay, Kwang Ming,
Yes.
12, 13, and 15 are not correct. 12, 13, and 15.
Yeah.
Okay, Chung Hu, I'm looking at yours. Okay, everyone finding this a little bit harder. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Okay, 10, 11, and 12 are not correct for you, okay? 10, 11, and 12. Ming Nok, looking at yours. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Well done, Ming Nok. All are correct. Very good. Okay, Ledok Ang, looking at yours. Ledok Ang.
Yes.
Just one wrong, Ledok Ang. Just
Okay.
one. Number 12. Number 12 is not correct. Okay, Nok Ling, I'm looking at yours. Okay, Nok Ling.
Yes.
Okay, all correct except the last one, Nok Ling.
Oh.
Okay, number 15 is not correct. The others are all correct. Okay. I think I've got everyone's answer. All right. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Can you read me the first sentence, please? The first sentence.
The first sentence. Back in her home in Hanoi, her family had reminded her of their own adventures when they traveled across Vietnam together.
Okay, so there are just two had to be corrected there. Number 9, okay, should be at, but you can use in. Okay, at or in is correct for number 9. Back at her home, back in her home. Usually you would say at.
Yeah.
Okay, usually, but you can say in. In is still okay. All right. Number 10, okay, definitely in. Remember, you use in for years, months, and cities. You use in. So number 10 must be in. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Can you read sentence number 2, please? The one that starts with Monday.
Uh, in Monday, we plan to visit a hidden cafe tucked away in the quiet alley.
Okay, so the first one, everyone, number 11 should be on. On. Okay, on Monday is a specific date or day, Monday. So should be on Monday, not in Monday. On Monday, she planned to visit a hidden cafe tucked away in a quiet alley. Okay, and the last one. Last sentence, please. Nok Ling.
The
Last
child
sentence. Yeah.
captivated her, and she knew that this trip would leave a lasting impression.
Good. Okay. The charm of the city captivated her. She knew this trip would leave a lasting impression. Okay. So 15 must be a, not the. Okay. A lasting impression is a common collocation. Nok Ling, Nok Ling. Can you tell me what it means? A lasting impression. A lasting impression.
Is give you many memory.
Correct. Very good, Nok Ling. Okay. Something that makes a lasting impression gives you a very long and strong memory. Okay. Means you won't forget it in a hurry. A lasting impression is a common collocation. Those words go together. A lasting impression means makes a strong memory. Doesn't have to be a good memory, by the way, can be a bad memory. If something bad happened, just means it makes you a strong memory of something that is good or bad. Oh, Fong Dok Ang, welcome to class.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I feel pretty tired.
It's still pretty tired. Okay, had a busy week. Okay, just looking at the scores for everyone. I'm just adding them up. These are the total scores out of 15. Okay, out of 15. Okay, Chung Hu, 9. Huang Ang, 11. Ming Nok, 12. Nok Ling, 11. Kwang Ming, 11. And Leduk Ang, 12. Okay, so that is out of 15, by the way. So again, just remember, in for years, months, and cities. In years, months, and cities. On for specific dates or days. So on the 15th, on Monday, on Sunday. Okay, on for specific dates and days. Specific, again, just means exact. Okay, you were talking about an exact date or day, just one date or day. On the 15th, on Friday. In Hanoi, in 2012, in February. All right, and the articles, of course, you are talking the or a. Okay, are there any questions about any of that? Okay, thank you, everyone. And again, I just remind you, the reason we're practicing this is you must get the prepositions right if you want to get a whole sentence right. And you need to get 50% of correct sentences in order to get a score of 7. Okay. I'm going to share something else with you now. All right, we're going straight to speaking part 2. All right, you can see hopefully part 2 on your screen. Phong Dok Ang, Phong Dok Ang. Phong Dok Ang, oi.
Yeah.
Can you please read the part 2 topic you can see on your screen, please?
Describe a time when you had to adapt to a new situation. You should say what the situation was, why you had to adapt, what you did to adapt, and explain how you felt about the experience.
Good. Do you know what adapt means, Phong Dok Ang? Do you know, can you guess what adapt means? Adapt?
I think is similar to get used to.
Very good. Means get used to or deal with or cope with a new situation. But yes, you're right, Phong Dok Ang. Adapt generally means get used to. You adapt to a new city. You adapt to a new school. You adapt to a different temperature. Okay, you get used to it. Adapt. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm not going to get you to talk at the moment. Going to do that next week. But what I'm going to practice with you now, I just want to show you, some of you, I think, are a little bit unsure about what to do in the 1 minute preparation that you have for this task 2. So I'm just going to share. What I'm going to do now is to share the preparation that I do with you. All right, just going to chat. So everyone, I'm going to send you in chat what I might write down for this topic. Okay, so the new situation I'm going to talk about, and remember, a new situation can be anything. Okay, so this is my situation. Leduk Ang, can you see my situation?
Um,
I just
yeah,
sent it to you in chat. What is it?
learning how to scuba dive.
Good. Do you understand what that means? What scuba dive means?
No, I forgot.
Okay, scuba dive, everyone. Scuba dive is when you learn how to use a breathing tank underwater. Okay, if you want to go diving in the sea and you want to go look at maybe some pretty fish, or maybe you want to go see some beautiful coral or sea life, you need to know how to scuba dive. Does that make sense now, Ledokang?
Yes.
Scuba dive, okay? It's called scuba dive in English. That's when you learn to breathe using a tank of air, learning how to scuba dive. So this is my new situation, okay? These are the other notes that I'm going to make in the 1 minute that I have, okay? Okay, everyone, I've sent you all my notes, which I have done in 1 minute in chat. Okay, so my situation is learning how to scuba dive. What is my next bullet point? Mingnock, what is my next bullet point?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, what is my next bullet point? Can everyone see what I'm sending you in chat? Okay, I've sent you all my bullet points that I will use to answer this question. So what is the second one, Mingnock?
Second one is scared of water.
Correct. Scared of water is my second one. Kwang Ming,
Yes.
what is my third bullet point?
Go to pool and practice because I want to go diving with my friends.
Good. Nok Ling,
Yes.
what is my fourth bullet point?
Take a diving course.
Good. Huang Ang,
Yes.
what is the next bullet point?
I think it should be the take. I'm
Sorry,
lacking.
just read the bullet point from what I've sent you in chat, Huang Ang.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay,
I'm just getting lag.
okay, can you see it now?
Okay, now I can see it.
Okay, so what is the next bullet point? After take a diving course.
I think it should be a sheet of paper and a practical exam.
Right, correct. Sit the paper. It just means I have to do both an exam on paper, have to answer questions, and then I have to show that I know how to use the diving tank by going into a pool. Okay, and the last one, Chung Hu. Chung Hu,
Yeah.
what is the last bullet point I have written?
Go diving with my friends.
Good. Okay, and what's the one before that? I missed one out. Sorry, Chung Hu. What's the one
Oh, yeah.
before that?
Get my certificate.
Good. Get my certificate. Okay, my piece of paper that shows I
Oh,
know how to dive. And the last one, go diving with my friends. I didn't spell friends correctly, but never mind, because these notes are just for myself. So you can see in the 1 minute, okay, I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bullet points, okay, which I can use to talk about for 2 minutes. Now, you'll remember, because I've been talking about this for some time now, that to answer the part 2 question, it's easiest if you can tell some story. So I'm telling the story of how I learned to dive. Okay, that is my new situation. You will notice that I haven't really used their bullet points, but that doesn't matter, because remember, the secret is make your own bullet points as long as you are answering the main question, which is how you have to adapt to a new situation. As long as you are doing that, you can make your own bullet points, and you make your bullet points to remind you of a story. Okay, so this is what I have written down in my 1 minute. Now I can look at these bullet points and I can easily talk for 2 minutes using these bullet points to remind me of what to say next. So this is what I would do if I was doing the test. Okay, I would say, I'm going to tell you about when I had to adapt to a new situation, when I learned how to scuba dive. Now, I'm scared of water. I don't like putting my head under the water because I think I might drown or maybe a shark will eat me. But I wanted to go diving with my friends, so I knew I had to get over my fear of water. So the first thing I did was I would go to the swimming pool and I would practice. I would practice swimming up and down the pool, and I would also practice swimming with my head under the water. Now, I knew that in the swimming pool it was going to be safe because obviously there are no sharks in the swimming pool. And also, if I got into some trouble in the pool, then I knew that someone would be there to rescue me. So I felt very safe going in the pool, so I practiced and practiced. When I could swim better, then I went and I took a diving course. I had to pay for the diving course, of course, but the instructors showed me how to use an oxygen tank, how to breathe under the water, and the sort of things that you do if something goes wrong. The next thing I did, once I felt I was ready, I had to sit a paper exam. Means I had to answer questions on paper about diving and what to do if you have some problem. And I also had to sit a practical exam where they took me into the sea and they made me do different exercises under the water so that I could show them that I knew how to dive safely and that I knew what to do if something went wrong. For example, maybe my swimming mask would fill with water. So I was really happy when they told me I had passed the exam and they gave me my certificate. So I showed my certificate to my friends and family. My certificate meant that I knew how to dive, that I could do it safely, and that I wouldn't have any problems. And now I can go diving with my friends. Now, I don't know how long that was, maybe not quite 2 minutes, but hopefully you can see, everyone, how I have used each of these bullet points to tell a story about me learning to dive, okay, and how easy it was to fill up 2 minutes. Are there any questions about this? All right, so I want you to do the same for me, please. I want you to think of an answer to this topic. Describe a time when you had to adapt to a new situation. I want you to send me your 7 or 8 bullet points that you will use to tell the story. And then next week, as I say, we will use the bullet points so you can tell the story. But right now, I just want to see your bullet points. So are there any questions about what I have done? I've thought of my new situation and I've written down 7 or 8 bullet points just to help me tell the story on the way. And I can look at these as I'm giving my talk and it reminds me of what to say next. Huang Ang, does this make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense.
Good. Nok Ling, does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Good. Chung Hu. Chung Hu,
Yeah.
does this make sense to you, what I want you to do?
Not
But,
sure.
okay, so Chung Hu, I want you to think of a time you had to adapt to a new situation. Okay, that is your first bullet point. You have to think of a situation.
So
All right.
think about a tough situation or something.
Yeah, it can be anything, but
Oh.
something that you can tell a story about. So that is going to be bullet point number 1. In fact, everyone just send me bullet point number 1 in chat. Okay, everyone just send me your first bullet point. Your first bullet point is going to be, what situation are you going to talk about? For me, it was learning how to scuba dive. That is my situation. So everyone, please, in chat now, just send me bullet point number 1. Okay, thank you, Fung Duk Ang. Now remember, you should be able to do this straight away. In the exam, you're only going to have 1 minute, remember, to think of this and to think of some bullet points. So you have to be fast. So everyone quickly think of a situation where you had to adapt. And send me that bullet point now in chat. Just one bullet point. Okay, I don't want anything else at this stage. Just one bullet point. All right. Thank you, Huang Ang. Thank you, Nok Ling. So, Nok Ling.
Yes.
Okay, so I see you've given me the same topic as you gave me the other week. Okay, which is fine. It's great to have one story that you can use in many different situations. Okay, for example, Knockling, you could also use that, your answer, for tell me a time you did something with your family. Okay, tell me a time you were scared.
Yes.
Okay, you can use the same story for many, many different situations. So that's good, Knockling. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so it's good to be able to you are adapting your story. Does that make sense?
Yes.
To fit the question. Okay, and that's a very good way of doing that. It means you can think of one or two stories that have happened in your life and use them for many, many different answers. Okay, I should have all of your answers now, by the way. Remember, you would have in the test about 10 seconds to think of this. Okay, just one sentence would be fine, Chang Hu. That's all I wanted. One sentence. Okay, Chang Hu?
Yeah.
Chang Hu. Okay, all I needed was your first sentence. Okay?
Alright.
That's all. Just your first sentence. So still waiting. Ming Nok and Kwang Ming. I haven't seen yours yet. Ming Nok, oi.
Yes, I am typing my.
Okay, so just one sentence, Ming Nok. That's all I want for now, okay? Just what your topic is going to be. Kwang Ming. Kwang Ming.
Yes.
Okay. I'm waiting for your topic, Kwang Ming.
Okay.
All right, just one sentence. Same for you, Ming Nok. Only need one sentence. A short sentence. Just like mine, okay? I learned how to scuba dive. That's my situation. Okay, Ming Nok, that's good. But Ming Nok,
Yes.
okay, too long, of course, for what I was asking. All right? Your
Oh,
first,
yes.
okay, just your heading was all I wanted, okay? Okay, good, everyone. So, all right. So this is the first thing you must think of in 10 seconds. Kwang Ming,
Yes.
okay, can you please tell me your first bullet point? What is it?
It's the time when I first attended to a club.
Okay, good. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Ming Nok, what is your first bullet point? Your topic.
My topic is a day without internet.
Good. Chang Hu,
Yeah.
what is your topic, Chang Hu? Just tell me. First sentence, what is it?
A time when we had to adapt on new situation.
Mm-hmm. And what is that for
For
you, Chang Hu?
example,
What
like
is it?
what the situation was.
Yeah, no,
For
just tell me your topic. Tell me your
oh,
topic.
like in the topic, the situation when I had to adapt, it's basically like how I learned to swim.
Good. That's all I need. Good. How I learned to swim. Laduk Ang,
Yes.
what is your topic?
Um, get in touch with technology for the first time.
Good. Okay. Nok Ling, what is your topic?
My topic is being left in a cave.
Good. Huang Ang. Huang Ang.
I think my topic is suffering from continuously learning in the high school.
Good. And finally, Fung Duk Ang. Fung
My
Duk Ang.
topic is moving to a new class.
Good. Okay. So all those topics are fine. The only thing you need to be sure of is, can I talk about this for 2 minutes? Okay. Can I talk about this for 2 minutes? That is the main thing for your topic. So normally, like I say, it is best if it is something you can tell a story about. Okay, so this time, now I have all your topics. Okay, I want you to send me your bullet points. And remember, your bullet points are just notes. They don't have to be complete sentences. They are just notes to remind you how to tell the story. Okay, Ming Nok.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got, well, not counting the first one, you've got 3 bullet points. Okay,
Yes.
all right. Do you need more, Ming Nok, do you think, for
I
you?
think need more, but I have a little bit time, so I could feel more. I think more is
Okay, all right. So yeah, I think your bullet points are fine, Ming Nok. There's
yes.
nothing wrong with them, but I think maybe you need 2 or 3 more just to help you fill out the 2 minutes. And remember, because you've only got 1 minute to write these, okay, you just, like bullet point number 3, Ming Nok,
Yes.
okay, could actually be, um, you could make that much shorter,
Yes.
okay, as in you could just make it realize I missed many moments. Does that make sense, Ming Nok?
Yes.
And when you read that, you'll know to say, well, why did I miss many moments? And what was the result of that? Okay, you don't need to write that down at this stage. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so this is how to make notes. So with your note making, remember everyone, you only need very short sentences, mostly because, as I keep saying, you've only got 1 minute to write this. Okay, Leduk Ang, Leduk Ang.
Yes.
Okay, good bullet points, Leduk Ang. So would that be enough for you for 2 minutes, you think, Leduk Ang?
I could like
Could you
like build
talk
up
about
the I
those
yes,
for 2
maybe
minutes, you think?
I can build up a longer story.
Good, based on those. But that's good. You are doing them very well. Okay, that is exactly right, Ledokang. Okay, just remember the bullet points are just notes that you are making for yourself to remind you of the story. Does that make sense, Ledokang?
Yes.
Okay, so like you've got how to play and solution. So you can talk about those, of course. You can talk about them. All right. But just writing those notes just gives some structure to your story. Okay. And it guides you. So when you think you are maybe, what do I say next? You look down at your notes and you think, oh, yes, that's right. I'm going to talk about the solution. And you talk about the solution. Does that make sense, Ladokang?
Yes.
Yeah, you're doing it correctly. That's good. Huang Ang.
Oh my God, it keeps popping up on my chat.
Sorry, what is Huang Ang?
The I press space, but it keeps jumping on my chat.
Okay.
I was trying to open my mic.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you've got 2 more bullet points, Huang Ang. Probably need another maybe 2 or 3. Do you think, Huang Ang?
Yeah, I actually need more, but
You do,
I
yeah. So you've
I
got
th-
2.
I
You've
think
got two.
I think I could think about some more bullet point in 1 minute so far.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I
good.
think I have to practice more.
Yeah. So that's why we're doing this. I'm just looking to check what everyone's bullet points are. So Leduk Ang, yours are fine. Huang Ang, your 2 bullet points are fine, but you need more. Okay?
All right, I understand.
Yeah. Fong Dok Ang. Fong Dok Ang, oi.
Yes.
Okay, bullet points are good. Fong Dok Ang.
Thank you.
Okay, so again, remember, are they enough to help me talk for 2 minutes? What do you think, Fong Dok Ang?
I think I should add to 1 or 2 bullet points.
You think maybe 1 or 2 more?
Yeah.
You're thinking?
Yes.
Okay, so what you've got there is pretty good, Fong Dok Ang. Again, you have the right idea. That is the right idea. Nok Ling.
Yes.
Okay, so I get these good bullet points, Nok Ling. They are fine.
Yes.
Are they enough, do you think?
I think I should need for some 1 or 2 bullet point more.
Okay, maybe. As we know, the hard thing is trying to do this in 1 minute. So you don't even have maybe time to write complete sentences. You just have to write ideas. So Nok Ling,
Yes.
you've got be attracted by many stalactites. If
Yeah.
it was me, Nok Ling, I would just write what attracted me.
Something make you
Uh,
feel.
No, sorry, Nok Ling. Does this make sense? Instead of writing be attracted by many stalactites, that takes too long to write. Okay? So I would just write, for me, I just write what attracted me.
Something make you feel curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, but that's what I would write for my bullet point, Nok Ling. I would just write what attracted me.
Yes.
Instead of writing attracted by many stalactites, because that takes too long to write. And I already know that in my mind.
Yes.
All right. So my bullet point would just be what's attractive, what attracted me. And then I can talk about the stalactites
Yeah.
and the things in the cave. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to keep your bullet points very short. You don't need to write complete sentences. Just something like what attracted me reminds you to talk about the stalactites. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, who haven't I got? Okay, so Kwang Ming, I'm just waiting for your bullet points, please.
Yes, I just typing.
Okay, thank you. Remember, everyone, these bullet points don't have to be long, okay? And they don't have to make sense to me, okay? You are the one who is using them to remind you how to talk. But I just want to see what you are doing and to make sure you have enough that is going to last you for 2 minutes. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chung Hu, with your bullet points, okay, you have written too much. All right, so Chung Hu, I will send to you what I think your bullet points should look like. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Okay. Chung Hu, can you see what I've sent you in chat?
Yeah.
Okay, so bullet point number 1 is what you are going to use as your topic, learn how to
I
swim.
have to swim.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, bullet
My
bullet
kids.
point number 2 is you are scared, okay?
Yeah.
And you just use that, just write down the one word, and then you talk about why are you scared? So like I talked about I'm scared because I don't like water, okay? And I'm scared to go into the sea because maybe something will attack me. All right, but I just use the word scared as my bullet point to remind me to talk about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then you practice, Chung Hu. So you just write down the word practiced. How often did you practice, Chung Hu? How often?
Mm, Twice a week.
Good. Okay. Where did you go to practice? Okay. So that is the sort of thing this one word will remind you of. Okay. So you practiced twice a week. For how long? Okay. Where did you go? Did you practice with anyone? But the word practiced reminds you to talk about all those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, you learned how to swim. Any questions, Chung Hu?
Oh, no.
Okay. So that's all you need to do with this. Just the bullet points are just short notes to remind you of what story you are going to tell. Kwang Ming,
Yes.
I have yours now. Thank you. Okay. And again, Kwang Ming, a little bit long. All right. So your ideas are good, Kwang Ming, a
Yes.
little bit long. Okay. So I will send you, Kwang Ming, what I
Yes.
think your bullet points should look like. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Kwang Ming, can you see what I've sent you in chat?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see how I have basically summarized what you sent to me.
Yeah.
All right. So your topic is going to talk about going to a new school or new club. All right. How did I feel? Nervous and excited. All right. Why did I feel nervous and excited? Well, you can talk about that because you already can look at the bullet point. All right. So you look at nervous and excited and you think, okay, why did I feel that? And you talk about that. You talk about why you were nervous, talked about why you were excited. So then friendly people reminds you to talk about how the people there were kind to you, okay? And maybe the president helped you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then you write volunteer things. That reminds you to talk about all the different things you could do at the club and what sort of volunteer things you could do. And then the last one, empathize with others. Okay, you can talk about some situations where it helped you, made you feel that you understood more about other people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Kwang Meng?
Yes.
Okay, so what you sent me is fine, but it's too long. Remember, you only have 1 minute to do these. So you just write down your key words, your key thoughts for the bullet points. All right, going to finish this now and go on to the graph for the last part of the section. But we will do more about this next week. Does anyone have any questions for me? All right, I'll just send you a quick reminder in chat about what bullet points are. Oops, not quite correct, that last part. That would be a long time, 32 minutes. Okay, I'm going to get you all to read this out to me. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
What have I just sent you in chat? Please read it, Chung Hu.
Bullet points are keywords or key thoughts that help you talk about the topic for 2 minutes.
Correct. Thank you. Huang Ang.
Yes.
Can you please read what I've just sent you in chat?
Bullet points are keywords or key thoughts that help you talk about the topic for 32 minutes. I mean,
The
2
next
minutes.
one. Yeah, 32 would be a very long time. Ming Nok,
Yes.
read what I've just sent you in chat, please.
Bullet points are keywords or key thoughts that help you talk about a topic for 2 minutes.
Nok Ling,
Bullet points are keywords or people that help you talk about a topic for 2 minutes.
Huang Ming,
Bullet points are keywords or key thoughts that help you talk about a topic for 2 minutes.
Le Duc Ang,
Hello.
yes,
Bullet
turn.
points are keywords or key thoughts that help you talk about a topic for 2 minutes.
Good. And finally, Fong Duc Ang.
Bullet points are keywords or key thoughts that help you talk about a topic for 2 minutes.
Good. Does anyone have any question about that, or anyone is not clear? Often your bullet point will only be one word because, of course, as I keep saying, you only have 1 minute to write these. And they don't have to make sense to anyone else, just you, as long as they make sense to you. Are there any questions about that? This is what I want you to remember from this lesson. Bullet points are key words or key thoughts, help you talk about a topic for 2 minutes. So, as I was saying before, you will have maybe 10 seconds to think of your topic. As I was saying to Nok Ling before, you might have 1 or 2 stories from something that happened to you in your life that you know very well. You can often adapt those stories to fit many different topics. So, for example, Nok Ling,
Yes.
your story is about being lost in the caves. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that, as we have just seen, you can use that about how you adapted to a new situation. Nok Ling, what other topics could you use that story for? Lost in the cave. What other topics might that answer?
The other topic are the time that I go to visit some new place with my family, or the time I was very scared in my life.
Good. Okay. So there are two other topics that she can think of straight away that she can use. A time when she was scared. Tell me about a time when you were scared. I can use the story about being lost in the cave. All right. Tell me about a time you and your family did something together. I can talk about the time I got lost in the cave. Okay. Talk about a holiday you went on. I can talk about the time I got lost in the cave. Okay. So if you have just 2 or 3 stories in the back of your mind, you can use these for many, many different topics in speaking part 2. So you have 10 seconds to think of a suitable topic and then about 50 seconds to write down your bullet points. If you're going to write 5 bullet points, 10 seconds to write each bullet point, which is not long, which sometimes is why you can only write 1 word for a bullet point. Okay? Scared might be 1 word. Happy might be another word. Reminds you to tell one part of your story that focuses on being happy or scared. All right, I think I've talked enough about that. We'll do more about this next week. I'll get you to use your bullet points to talk. Time has gone faster than I thought, so we're not going to have as much time as I wanted to look at the graph. But we're just going to take a very quick look at it now. Okay. Soon we will be finished with this graph, okay? I promise you. Must be getting tired of looking at it. So in the last few weeks, all right, we've looked at the main features of this graph, okay, which basically is, I'll just remind you quickly, this 3 different types of crime in the city of Manchester. Okay, you can see burglaries decreased dramatically or significantly. Car thefts rose slightly or gradually. Robberies stayed about the same. All right, over the whole period of the graph. The last part of your writing task 1, what I described to you was just the overview, is writing in detail. We'll go down to the detail paragraphs. Okay. These are the details of the graph. Okay. Phong Duc Ang.
Yes,
Can you read detail number 1, please?
if we take robbery first, we notice that it goes up a little first, then there is a big drop until 2008 when it go up slightly and then remains steady.
Okay, good. So you will notice again, looking at the small graph here, which I hope you can all see, it goes up at first, okay, goes down dramatically or rapidly, goes up a little bit, then it remains steady. We need to write about that detail, okay, in a paragraph. And this is an example of how you can do that. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Okay, can you please read all of the first paragraph for me?
February started at just below 3,500 in 2003, and apart from a small rise of around 500 offenses in 2004, fell drastically to just over 1,000 incidents in 2008. 2009 saw a slight rise to just below 1,500 and remained in and around this figure until the end of the time period.
Good. Very good reading, Ming Nok. Okay, so you can see in detail is when you start to use the figures. Okay, so it started just below 3,500 in 2003. Okay, a small rise of about 500 offenses, then it fell drastically. So the important thing is here, you need to remember an adverb, okay, to describe what happens to this sudden fall here that you can use in your detail. So your detail paragraphs are all about figures in detail. So the overview paragraph, which is the second paragraph of your essay, okay, you talk about generally what happened. Generally, looking here at burglaries, all right, they fell dramatically. In detail, they went up this year, they went down this year to this amount, they went up again. Okay, so that is the difference. The detail paragraphs are where you do that. All right, and normally, if you only had 2 lines here, you have 2 detail paragraphs. So of course you would just talk about each line in each separate paragraph. But because you have 3 lines here, you would have to put 2 of the lines into 1 paragraph. Now, in this situation, what I would do, I'll go back to the bigger graph. We'll be finishing shortly, everyone, so don't worry. In what I would do, because I've got 2 detailed paragraphs, I would put burglaries here in 1 paragraph, and I would put these 2 in the second paragraph. I would put these 2 together. Why would I do that? Nok Ling, can you tell me? So
Because
I would give burglaries, sorry, Nok Ling, I'll just make clear to everyone. I would give burglary its own paragraph, but I would put these 2 in the same paragraph. Why have I done that, Nok Ling?
the burglary have a significant chance, but the car thief and robbery has a little chance.
Very good, Nok Ling. That is exactly right. Okay, you can see the most important thing that happens in the graph is that burglaries have decreased dramatically or significantly or a lot. You can use either of those words. Okay, so this deserves 1 paragraph by itself. The other 2, they haven't changed that much. Robberies hardly change at all. Car theft went up a bit, rose gradually. Okay, so these 2 are similar in that nothing much has happened. So they can go in the same paragraph. But this one is the one where most change has happened, so it deserves its own paragraph. So when you are looking at a graph that has many lines on it, this is how you decide what goes in which paragraph. The ones that have the most change, okay, go in their own paragraph. The one that has the least change, you can put them together. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Okay, we'll do more about this next week. Okay, everyone, that is the end of the class for today. So I hope you can remember what I've said about bullet points. That will be this week's homework, by the way. I understand that some of you are still finishing exams, so if you don't have time to do the homework, that's fine. Your exams, of course, are more important. But if you do have time to do the homework, then it will help keep this in your memory. So what I'm going to get you to do for the homework is just to write some bullet points for a topic I will send you. And remember, how long should bullet points take you to write? Phong Duk Ang? Phong Duk Ang?
Yeah.
How long should bullet points take you to write? How long?
It's about 6 or 7.
How long?
Long. 2 minutes.
Not 2 minutes? Less, Phong Duk Ang. How long to write the bullet points?
1 minute.
Correct. Okay, so you should be able to do your homework, everyone, in 1 minute. Okay, you can take a bit longer than that because you're still practicing. But remember, in the exam, you only have 1 minute to do the bullet points. So your homework is going to be very short. So see if you can do it. Okay, everyone, great to see you all. Good luck for those of you who still have exams this week. I hope they go well for you and have a happy week. I look forward to seeing you all again next Sunday. Tam Viet, everyone. Tam Viet. Gap Lai Sao.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye, teacher.
Quay trở, hiểu không?
Goodbye,
Gap Lai
teacher.
Sao. Gap Lai Sao.